Think your automatic car can handle anything? Think again. Most people get into their cars every day without realizing the small things they're doing that could be silently killing their transmission or damaging the engine. And once those problems show up, they can cost thousands to fix. So today, we're diving into things you should never do in an automatic car, plus a bonus tip at the end that could save you hundreds of dollars in future repairs. Let's kick this off with something almost everyone's guilty of: running your car on empty. You might think it's harmless to wait until that last fuel light blinks before filling up, but it's not. In most modern cars, the fuel pump lives inside the gas tank, and it actually uses the fuel to keep itself cool. So when your tank is low, there's less fuel to help regulate temperature. This causes the pump to run hot, and over time, that heat wears it out. Replacing a fuel pump? That's not cheap. And here's the second part. When your tank is near empty, all the grime and debris sitting at the bottom gets stirred up. That sludge can clog your fuel filter, hurt your fuel injectors, and mess with how your engine runs. So if you want to avoid surprise repair bills, keep that tank at least a quarter full. Now, here's one that people still argue about: coasting in neutral. Some drivers believe it saves gas, especially going downhill. But with today's cars, it doesn't. When you're coasting in gear, modern engines actually cut off fuel supply. But when you're in neutral, the engine keeps idling, which burns more gas. Worse, coasting in neutral limits your control. If you need to suddenly accelerate to avoid danger, you can't. Plus, you're putting unnecessary wear on your drivetrain when you shift back into gear. It might seem harmless, but over time, that adds up. All right? This next one can destroy your transmission in just a few hours. Driving through deep water. It might look like your car is tough enough to handle a flooded street, but here's the problem. Automatic transmissions have little vents that let pressure escape, and water can sneak in through them. Once water mixes with transmission fluid, it becomes a milky mess. That destroys the glue holding the clutch plates together. If that happens, it doesn't matter if you drain the fluid later. The damage is done. Best case, your transmission starts slipping. Worst case, total failure. So, unless you're driving a lifted 4x4, avoid water deeper than your hubcaps. Next, a habit most drivers don't even think about: leaving the car in drive at stoplights. When you're stuck at a red light, it's tempting to just hold the brake and wait. But when you're in drive, the torque converter is still spinning, generating heat, especially on hot days. That heat adds stress to your transmission fluid and shortens its life. Shift into neutral instead. It reduces heat buildup and gives your transmission a small break. Tiny change, big difference over time. Now let's talk cold weather, not warming up your transmission. Engines and transmissions aren't the same. Your transmission relies on hydraulic fluid to work properly, and in cold weather, that fluid thickens. If you jump in and speed off right away, the sluggish fluid can't flow fast enough. That delays shifts and strains internal parts. So in winter, let your car idle for a minute or two. Let the fluid warm up and circulate before driving. Trust me, your car will thank you. Here's one that sounds harmless but isn't: resting your hand on the gear shifter. If you've ever done this while cruising or waiting at a light, you're not alone. But the truth is, even a little pressure on the gear selector can mess with the delicate parts inside. Over time, that constant stress wears them down. So when you're not shifting, keep your hands on the wheel. Let's switch gears. Literally, turning off the engine before putting it in park. Modern cars are pretty smart. Most won't even let you remove the key unless the gear is in park. But if you shut off the engine while still in drive or neutral, you're disconnecting the transmission's input shaft. That messes with the torque converter and can cause jerky restarts or long-term damage. Just remember, always shift to park before shutting off. Now, let's talk about something a lot of people do just for fun. Hard acceleration. Launching your car from a red light might feel powerful, but it puts major stress on your engine, transmission, and suspension. Occasional spirited driving is okay, but making it a habit? That wears down engine mounts and burns fuel like crazy. If you want your car to last, ease into the throttle. Your transmission will thank you later. This next one can ruin your day fast. Shifting into park before stopping. Some people shift into park while the car is still rolling. That tiny P lever isn't meant to stop your car. It's only designed to hold it still once it's already stopped. If you force it while moving, you can damage the parking pawl or even snap internal parts. And once it breaks, your car might start rolling when parked. Not something you want happening on a hill. Speaking of parking, not using the handbrake. Relying only on the parking gear when you park is a mistake, especially on a slope. The handbrake is there to relieve pressure off the transmission. Use it. Otherwise, the entire weight of your car leans on a tiny pin inside the gearbox. Over time, that pin can wear down or even fail. Let's talk fluid. Ignoring transmission fluid changes. Some manufacturers say the fluid is lifetime. Don't believe it. Just like engine oil, transmission fluid breaks down. It gets dirty, loses its protective qualities, and stops doing its job. Aim to replace it every 50,000 miles or so. Bright red fluid is good. Dark or burnt smelling. Time for a change. Here's a common one that hurts over time. Idling in drive for too long. If you're waiting for someone or stuck in traffic, it's better to shift to neutral or even turn the car off if you'll be there for a while. Long periods in drive heat up the transmission unnecessarily, especially in older or diesel vehicles where it can even affect your oil. Now a classic mistake, shifting from drive to reverse or vice versa while still moving. Even though some newer cars block this, many don't. Changing direction without coming to a full stop slams the gears and stresses the whole system. It's a fast way to wear out your transmission or break something inside. Your automatic car is built to be convenient, but convenience doesn't mean indestructible. Every small mistake adds up. By avoiding these habits, you'll save yourself from costly repairs and extend your car's life. If this helped you out, hit that like button and consider subscribing for more car tips, driving hacks, and videos that actually save you money. Got a car question? Drop it in the comments. I might cover it in the next video. Until then, drive smart and take care of your car like it takes care of you.